Hey guys, how are you all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic. Welcome back to the channel. I have a big one for you guys today. I have a pretty darn big one. Today we're going to be reviewing Marvel Studios' Captain Marvel. Now, before I get into this review, I do want to touch on something. A lot of people with these movies, especially Black Panther and Captain Marvel, they tend to have these stereotypes where they go, now this isn't me, again, this is just what people are saying, but lots of people think to say, oh, if you don't like Black Panther, you're a racist. Or, oh, if you don't like Captain Marvel, you're a sexist. That's not true. I really, really, really like Black Panther. Is it my favorite MCU movie? No. Is it a great movie? Yes. Is Captain Marvel the best MCU movie? No. But is it really great? Yes. Captain Marvel is a fantastic movie. Now before, well, I guess I'm done with that. But yeah, now we get into the actual review. But essentially, for all of you people who were expecting Captain Marvel, like, for this to be like the thing after Infinity War, now there will be spoilers for Infinity War in this video. I guess I should say that. But if you haven't seen Infinity War, what are you doing? But anyway, yeah. So spoiler warning. Let's begin. So Infinity War. Of course, we know that the decimation happens. The snap kills half of everything on everywhere ever, essentially. And the end credit scene of Infinity War has Nick Fury and Maria Hill. You know, they get decimated, and Nick Fury's like, motherfucker. But as he's about to say the F word and dies, he basically gives this little communicator, and it, it falls and drops on the floor. But the communicator symbol was the symbol for Captain Marvel's chest area. Without that being weird, the chest area. It was like her symbol. Now, this movie does not really talk about how what actually happens with that. It's basically an origin story. So it takes place in the early 90s or late 90s, I believe. And this is basically Captain Marvel's origin story. So we see how she grew up and what happens and why she. If you've seen the trailer, she's kind of like, I don't know who I am. I don't know where I came from. I don't know who this person is or that person is or what the heck is a Skrull and a Kree and all that stuff. So when you're watching this movie, yes, it doesn't necessarily answer questions from Infinity War about how she gets there and all that. However, I would stay for the 2 after-credit scenes. Of course, I'm not going to tell you what those are, but there are 2. There's a mid-credit scene, and there's a final after-credit scene, which is one serious, one funny. But definitely stay for those. But this movie does a really good job of kind of capturing what Captain Marvel is, and it kind of addresses, okay, she's so friggin' powerful. Where the heck was she for Avengers and Age of Ultron and Infinity War and, the Dark World, Civil War, whatever? Ant-Man and the Wasp, any of those movies, where was she? Why didn't she help? And, of course, that gets addressed in this film, but, of course, I can't tell you that because that'd be a massive spoiler. But we also find out what happens with Nick Fury and, how he loses his eye, which is very cool. I'm not going to tell you, of course, how that happens. But, so, essentially, the plot for this movie is really, really strong, I think. It's kind of confusing in the beginning, but it's meant to be because Carol Danvers, or Vers, she doesn't know who she is, and we don't know who she is either as an audience watching, which is really cool. Now, of course, if you know the comics, you kind of know some of the stuff that's going to happen, but they kind of flip things around a little bit, which is pretty cool, and you have the Skrull, which are the shape-shifting people who can, if you saw the trailer, there's that old lady in the subway. Captain Marvel just punches her in the face, and there's a huge fight on the subway. So we know what a Skrull is, right? It just takes the form of someone. We know what the Kree are because we've seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 with Ronan the Accuser and, all these guys. So it's really cool to see. And yes, Ronan the Accuser, and I can't remember for the life of me that guy, but if you guys remember from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 in the beginning, where you see Star-Lord, he's like, oh man, I'm Star-Lord. Oh man. You actually, I don't know his name, it's that African-American dude with the swords, and he's like, who are you? That guy. He's in Captain Marvel, which is really cool. I really enjoyed those little callbacks to older movies, and all that. So, again, the plot starts with, again, we don't know who she is, what the heck's going on. But then as the movie goes on, of course, okay, you can piece things together. And it's not really a confusing movie. It is in the beginning because it's meant to be, but then it ties itself up, of course, in ways that I'm not going to tell you. But the plot for this movie is really, really strong, and I really liked it. Now, perhaps going to the acting, of course, acting is great. It's a Marvel movie, duh. But in terms of acting, I really don't mean the acting ability, I mean the actors. Did they do a good job, and did they pick the right Captain Marvel? Now, of course, Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, he's a Good Nick Fury, as always, but he's a lot younger, so it's kind of funny. He does a great job. Of course, you get all the, Carol Danvers' friend and her daughter. They did a great job. They were really cool. Supreme Intelligence, she was cool again. I'm not going to tell you any of that stuff. What's his name? Mongol Vorgal. The guy who played Pitch in Rise of the Guardians. What's his name? Shit, I can't remember his name. Is his name? Darn it, I can't remember anyone's name now. But, Jude Law, that's it, Jude Law. He did a great job of, being the villain, I guess. That's not really spoiling anything because he is a villain in the trailer. So, but again, it's confusing. You need to watch the movie. But without going into spoilers, the plot is great, and of course the acting is also great. But the actors, the biggest part with that is Brie Larson. Is she a good Carol Danvers, a good Captain Marvel? And I think she is. Whenever I was actually at Disney World in Hollywood Studios waiting for the Slinky ride when the first trailer dropped. And I remember seeing all those dislikes and all those comments, people going, "Oh my God, she's such a crappy actor. She doesn't smile. Oh my God." You know what I mean? And I'm just sitting there like, the movie looks freaking awesome. Okay, the CGI was a little wonky. It was the first trailer. They were still editing it and whatnot. But the first trailer looked really good. I think it was good. I think it was cool. Now, a lot of people seem to confuse a girl lead with happy-go-lucky, I'm smiling all the time, look at me. But if you actually know the context of the character and the role that she's put herself into and the whole plot of this movie, no, she's not going to smile. She's not going to be a grumpy, like Batman, a brooding person the whole time. All in all, what I'm trying to say is I was a little skeptical because, I don't trust anyone's opinion, but when everyone in the world says this movie's going to suck and Brie Larson's going to be the worst freaking actor in the world, I tend to go, okay, I'm a little nervous now, is it going to be true? But thankfully to me, in my opinion, I think Brie Larson was a fantastic Captain Marvel. She was funny when she needed to be. She was sad and mopey when she needed to be, apparently. She was just a great... Now, again, I'm not the most well-versed in the Captain Marvel comics. I read a few of them. However, I don't know how she really is in the comics, but from what I can see in this movie, she was really good, and I really enjoyed the character of Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. Now, let's see. The CGI. CGI is fantastic, as always. Now, here's my little debacle, I guess, with the MCU CGI. This is a Marvel movie, right? Just look at films like Infinity War, Iron Man 3, or really any of the movies. They use a crap ton of CGI. They use so much CGI, it's like vomiting CGI. It's just all over the place. Is it good? Yes, it's phenomenal, right? It's just pitch perfect. However, in a few Marvel movies, there's a few instances where it can be a little bad. Take Captain America Civil War. CGI movie that is great in that movie. However, if you remember that scene where Falcon and Black Panther are fighting in like that subway tunnel, Falcon has Black Panther on his leg. He's trying to, get him off. You're like, get off me. But Falcon is just rendered so poorly. And if you actually go back and watch it, to me, it looks like bullcrap. It's like, what the fudge were you guys thinking? It looks like garbage. And then, of course, with this movie, CGI is great, but then there's a scene where Captain Marvel is in space with her helmet on, and I could just tell her lips and her face, like from here maybe down. It was just CGI. It didn't look that good. But is the CGI overall great? Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's just that there's a few little instances in basically every Marvel movie, besides Infinity War, I think, but it was worse than Civil War. But is it bad in this? No, it's just like one or two scenes. But other than that, there's a few Skrull that look a little iffy, comparing, of course, Talos to, his buddies, or his cronies, I guess. They don't look too good. But it is what it is, So all in all, this movie got a lot of hate before it even came out, for dumb reasons. Again, if you guys know me, I don't think about, oh, is this movie sexist or racist, or with The Last Jedi? Is there any feminist agenda? I just watch a movie for a movie. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie. If it's crap, it's crap. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it with, oh, that person said that, so oh my God, like Solo with the robot. Everyone threw a fit. Again, I like movies for what they are. Movies, the content that's in them. Is Captain Marvel a great film for girls and boys? Heck yeah, it's a great movie for girls and boys. I'm going to give Captain Marvel an A. Again, I really enjoyed everything. The plot was great, the CGI was great, except for a few instances, and of course the acting and the actor for Brie Larson I think was a great choice. Although I've heard that Marvel is displeased with her and they might get rid of her. I don't know why. Maybe she's a jerk, who knows? But as far as a character with Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, I think they nailed it again. I mean, if you really think about it, I can't necessarily think of an MCU, or really a comic book hero, DC and Marvel, actor or actress that I really, really hate. I mean, I didn't like Ben Affleck as Daredevil that much, and Elektra was eh. But, I mean, even Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern wasn't the best thing in the world, but to me it wasn't garbage. Of course, Ryan Reynolds is perfect as Deadpool. I mean, duh. But, I think that all these actors and all these, actresses, I think they do a great job. Of course, save for, like, one with people I mentioned. But, Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, she is a great choice, I think, and hopefully they don't get rid of her. And again, there are 2 credit scenes, so do stay for those. There were a bunch of people in my theater leaving. They're not true fans. If you're a true fan, you stay for them. And keep in mind, this is the first movie that in the MCU that Disney has made since Stan Lee has passed away. So bring your Kleenex because there's a little bit of a tribute for him. But anyway, yeah, Captain Marvel, going to give it an A. Great movie, just a little bit of a CGI falter in a few instances. But yeah, I really loved it, and it definitely holds up to what you would expect from MCU standards. So thank you guys. Make sure to subscribe and tell me if you guys enjoyed Captain Marvel, and we'll see you guys in the next video.